I don't know anything about alcohol drinks.
Wow.
Like literally nothing. You just explain me how they make beer, and I look stupid.
Wow. Basically, at modern days, what happens is in America they have a law whereby when they make whiskey, what's the name? Not Jameson's. What's the other one? Jack Daniels, bourbon, and all that kind of stuff. They can only use the barrels once. Yeah. So once they've uncast the
Why?
because apparently for some unknown reason, they need to use new casks, new wood, to preserve the what you call it, the bourboning. Yeah, because apparently I don't know American law for some reason they basically said once you've uncast the barrel,
Yeah.
then that barrel must be burnt or sold. So what happens in the world today is that Jack Daniels and all the bourbon makers, Bullet and so forth, sell their empty barrels on to, how can I describe it for you? Rum makers. So the empty barrels going across the world to rum makers, and I think it's rum and there's some other drink that they make with using these old barrels. And a lot often you'll find a lot of rums taste like whiskies, right? Because they're preserved in old, what you call it, barrels. So the flavor,
States. That's that one.
you know, from the goes into it. This has been preserved in start with. It was preserved in a rum barrel, whiskey barrel. Yeah. So that's why. But there's a special thing about this I will explain at another time for you. All right.
We can actually make one of those bullshit drama moments in which I choose one glass over the other.
No,
Which one will he choose?
it won't.
Oh, the smell is different. Very different.
Very different.
There is no oak here.
No, it's caramel.
Yeah.
You totally go into a different plane of life. But this is a special rum, by the way. Very special. Very, very special. You won't find many rums that taste like this. Like I said, it was designed with women in
Man,
mind.
this thing is good.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's excellent.
Yeah, but this thing put a smile in my face.
Like I said, you may have tasted previous rums like Bacardi or Havana or whichever rum, the popular rums are
I
there.
haven't.
You've never. Well, this rum convinced me.
There are so many things. There are many things happening
In here, there's caramel, there's fruits, and it's amazing with this rum. It's,
I mean, don't get me wrong. I love this,
yeah,
but there is only two things happening here: whiskey and oak.
and oak.
Here, I don't know, man. Here is like.
It's everything.
Here is like the whole orchestra.
It's beautiful. It's amazing.
A whole
You know,
Belize orchestra
yeah.
playing here.
Caramel, freaking spice here, cardamom, cinnamon, all spice. Beautiful.
Wow.
You know.
Beautiful.
And my intention is to actually buy an original Belizean rum. But the people that do this, funny enough, actually are brandy makers in Cognac region.
In France.
Yes. France has 3 or 4 or 5 different islands where they can make rum. Basically, they currently make rum. Martinique, Guadeloupe, Antigua, some parts of Antigua and places like that. All over their little islands in the Caribbean. Some parts even in Reunion Islands, Seychelles, and other places like that. Mauritius, they make rums there, right? However, this particular one, they went to Belize, which is not French territory. The guys that make this rum went to Belize. Now, why did they go to Belize? Because they heard about this particular rum that this local guy makes over there, but there's the local sugar, which again is a different strand of most sugars in the world. So can you imagine? He actually makes his own rum from his own sugar, right? And they thought, oh, well, we intend to be egalitarian people. We intend to be the first brand that actually provides a fair trade rum, because this is why it's called fair, because it's right there, fair trade, right? And basically, they directly pay the producer of the rum from, for them. They make the rum at their specifications, and then they take the what's the name, the fermented, the finished product, take it back to France, to the Cognac region, and ferment it in their local barrels, the Cognac barrels. Yeah, they finished it off over there. Now there's one that they made. This one is the extra old, which is equivalent to 12 years old. It's not exactly 12 years old, but it's equivalent, right? Mm-hmm. Because again, one of the beautiful things about rum is that,
yeah, you say that once, the aging is different.
the aging is very different because it's raised in tropical climates. It actually ages quicker.
Not in Scottish shit weather.
No. That's the reason why whiskey is whiskey, because it's born by the sea. It's actually fermented by the sea, so the sea air and the peat and everything else gets into the whiskey. You know?
Wow, this thing kicks like a mule.
But because you've had this and you've had that, you know.
Can I have a bit more?
Lena is enjoying herself right now back there. You know that.
Oh yes.
You know.
Wow.
You know, but
it's funny. What she was telling you when I went to Colombia.
Yeah.
I tried aguardiente antioqueño, which is a particular brand of aguardiente. I don't know how you say aguardiente in English.
Well, diente means...
No, agua ardiente, like boiling water. But you probably just call it...
ardent water, which is basically, Holy Spirit.
It's a white spirit.
Yes, well, I wouldn't call it white spirit. It's more... what's the word that we use? Eau de vie.
It's transparent like water.
Yeah, of course. They all are.
You drink that and it doesn't taste very strong or anything.
Yeah.
You don't feel much. 5 minutes later, you need a taxi.
Yeah.
With just
It's
one
ultra powerful. Of all alcohols of that nature, you can guarantee.
Oh, Colombians, mate.
Yeah, you can guarantee that. But you'll always find nations that produce...
Look at this. Now it smells different from the first one I took. Why is that? I mean, obviously not very different, but there are like different tones.
Remember, you had whiskey in your tongue.
There are a lot of things going on in here. I like that.
Yeah.
It's very complex.
I think it's you should have used Coke to wash away the whiskey.
Coke? No way. That's something I don't understand about you. So you are... We could fairly say that you are an expert in drinks. You actually invest in some particular drinks.
Yes.
And then, yet you make them. You mix them with Coca-Cola. I mean, what the fuck, mate?
Because it tastes great.
No.
It does.
That has to be a crime.
How?
It's the original flavor. How do you mix that with Coca-Cola? I mean, come on.
It depends how you look at things. Me, if you are, what's the word for it? Classist, right? In terms of your drinking style.
I am a classist, yeah.
You
and not only that, I'm a Spanish. So I tend to
Makes no
think that
difference.
my way of thinking is the way everyone should think.
I am sure there's a Scottish gazer out there with the same view. Don't put anything watery next to my whiskey, right? There are plenty of people like that. I mean, don't get me wrong, some of them are aristocratic snobs and, or you can call them all kinds of names.
Thank you.
You can call them all kinds of names.
Thank you.
But
they will not know, they will not get that one. Not yet, but we will arrive there.
But the point is, I think you should drink what you like. I'm a more of a world view on things.
Yeah, what works for you, works for you.
Yeah, and I think for like I say, slavery is attached to the making of this drink. But one reason why I love rum is because that's the reason why one of the reasons why this was called slavery. But one of the good things about this rum, I mean, any alcohol that I like, why does he accompany Coke? Because it works well with Coke. I used to be a barman, so for me, one of the most motivating things about working behind the bar was to find out what went well with Coke.
Hi! I know you want me to go back to my country. Click subscribe, click like, and share the video, and you will probably succeed.